Hey everybody, this is attorney John Cucci. Today is the 29th of January, and you can see what time it is, right? It's 4:35. I'm in my office in Houston, Texas. You can see on one shoulder, I got my son graduating high school. I got my pro bono award 3 years in a row. And on the other shoulder, it's the Yankees. What? It's the Yankees. I'm originally from New York, but now I'm here in Houston. And I got to say, I love Houston. It's awesome. As far as legal, Houston's great for legal. Usually you can get a trial right away. Now, from looking at the analytics, 2 minutes and 26 seconds, people usually drop off. So I'll start with the deep seek. Wow. Listen, I think half of it's bullshit because there's no way that they did so much so fast without telling lies or puffing things up. That's just the way the Chinese work. You can't believe anything that comes from China. Do not believe it. But it's getting tested now. The Wall Street Journal had it on the front page today. DeepSeek used bevy of tactics to outfox US. They're going to try to outfox us forever. You know why? Because we're better than them. We're smarter. We're faster. And we don't play around. Now, when it comes to politics, I'll leave you on your own. But I'll tell you this. I'm so glad that at least we have a president now that likes to fight. And maybe he's a blowhard. Maybe he's an arrogant son of a bitch. Maybe he's an asshole. Maybe he's a misogynist. Doesn't matter to me. What I like is all the other countries are now in check. They were laughing at us with Joe Biden. Are you kidding me? I mean, we need a president who's strong, looks strong, and acts strong because this is the best country in the world. And the reason it is because it's a competitive environment. And we don't all rat each other. We compete against each other, which sometimes is not so great. But I'd rather have a bunch of people who are trying to compete with me than a bunch of people who are being sneaky and trying to stab me in the back. That's the difference. So the Chinese company that developed this, they didn't use as much money or as much power as our companies did. Now the stocks went down. They went down, down, down. Now, I'm not a financial specialist, but I sure went and bought a lot of stock yesterday because it's coming back and it will come back. And remember, no matter what, they had to use our NVIDIA chips to pull this off. They worked it. What they did in the outfoxing was, as you may know, President Biden put restrictions on the Chinese buying our chips because they were superior to the Chinese chips. They have 4 times as many people as us, and they couldn't come up with the chips like we can. Again, that's why this country is awesome, all right? We're going to compete with them forever. It's in their constitution to come at us and defeat us. I've read it, and it is unbelievable. If you ever get a chance to read some of it, you will now see or then see that China is after us, all right? They're going to always try to mess with us financially and any other way. Okay, so what the Chinese did is they worked their way around the rules restricting the chips they were allowed to get. I think it was called the 480 chip. Forgive me, I don't know the name of the chip. But I like this area and I like this subject because it's showing us that you can't just sit back on your laurels and think things are going to stay the same and you're always going to be the best at everything. You always have competition, especially when it comes to new things, new ideas, and money. Think about the money that was lost in equity. I think the number was $300 billion or more in equity that was lost in the market. I had 2 stocks that went down over 25%. All right. I lost, I think, $4,000 in my little small IRA that I have. But for me, $4,000 in one day was a hit, and I was upset. But I dusted myself off, and I went and bought some stock. All right, so let's get to the legal. The legal is they worked their way around the chip rule, but I got a feeling the Trump administration is going to try to keep that from happening again. Now, the whispering I'm hearing about all of this with President Trump is that now he's going to take a step back, and he's going to see how can we kind of work with them and see if this is really happening, if they really are ahead of us or doing something we didn't do. Now, what I thought was interesting was in the interview of one of the Chinese guys that did all this, I forget his name, he said, we only hire young people fresh out of school that don't have a lot of experience. The theory behind this was when you get a lot of experience, especially guys my age, I'm 58, when you get a lot of experience, you tend to put things in a box and you tend to get a little arrogant, so on and so on, where you say, this is how this works. This is how this is going to work. And that's kind of why they got us on this, because they use young guys right out of school, fresh, that didn't know and weren't married to a particular way of doing things. And that's true. When you get stuck that you do things this way, whether it's chopping down a tree, whether it's shaving the wool off, whether it's shaving the wool off an animal, or skinning it, or it comes to anything like fixing a car or computer programming. If you get set in your ways, sometimes that's a bad thing, because there's always new ways to do things. And that's where the competition works. So what has been shown to us by their action of showing us that they didn't need as much power or as much computing going on or as much time to figure and to do some AI work was because these new young guys that were doing the coding had to figure out how to do this in an efficient manner, and they created some new ways of doing it. And again, these weren't old guys that say, oh, this is how you do it this way, this way. No, the new guys came and showed them up. And I've seen that happen in a lot of industries, and I think it's a good thing. I've seen it in the Army, I've seen it in school, and I've seen it as a lawyer. Sometimes these young guys, you want to laugh at them because they don't know much maybe, but when they are motivated and educated and creative, they can do wonderful things, wonderful things. So I'll take any questions from anybody. I don't have the biggest audience. I have 17 subscribers. I'm trying to get some subscribers because I guess this is a great background because it's real. These are real books. These aren't painted. This isn't a green thing, okay? And I'm a real person, and I really practice law. I do trials, but we really do need some subscribers and some participation. So if anybody out there is watching, any legal questions you want, they don't have to be related to this. I'm going to try to share. This is a little bit new to me too. I'm going to try to share this to Facebook right now. So let's go to Facebook and see if we can pick up any audience. Okay, live on YouTube right now. If you have any questions, legal or political, okay, so we're going to send this and let's see if we get any response. It is amazing. Oh, look at that face. I think I got to fix this thing. So I have a terrible picture on Facebook. And I see a little bit of a delay now in my video. So I'm trying to see if I can get, oh, I got one person watching. So the person watching, if you have any questions, let's have it. And I'll give you a dead serious answer. Okay. And if you can subscribe, that would be great. All right. So to go on, also in the Wall Street Journal, there's a story about NVIDIA's dominance being under siege. And this began with a DeepSeek, I guess, attack. And now NVIDIA is not number one. They used to be the most valuable company in the world. And now they are not. So let me hear your questions if you can do it. I'm going to be on for about another 3 to 5 minutes. Hopefully, I have some more content for you. But let me tell you this: the reason I joined the Army and the Marine was to defeat communism. You know, I've read many books on Marxism and communism, and I can tell you this: it's great if you have 7 people and you live out in the jungle, but it doesn't work with a big society. Because look what happened with Russia, with Venezuela, with China. Your neighbors are ratting on you, they're spying on you. That's not a community. That's a terrible thing. Free speech is out the window. And if you go to jail, sometimes people never see you again. Not because you hurt somebody, not because you robbed somebody, but because you said something that you shouldn't have. So, I'm waiting for some questions. I am going to try this again tomorrow at 4:30. And I wish we would get a few more people involved. I'm going to plan this a little better. And I really am so happy that at least one person came on. And if you got a question on anything, let's have it. Okay, everybody. So we're in good shape. And I'm waiting for questions. All right. So I'm going to shut it down in 1 minute. And what I want to talk about is anything you want. Okay. Thank you all. And if you want to come back with questions later, post them up and I'll start my show with them next time. Okay. Attorney John Cucci, Houston, Texas, by way of New York. I'm the baddest ass lawyer you ever met and you ever saw. If you want to come watch me pick a jury and perform at a trial, you're always welcome. And I'll give you my schedule. All right, hold on. I might have a message here. Let's see what we got. Nah, nothing new. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. And hopefully we'll talk to you soon. All right.